Welcome back to Reid Between The Lines as we're discussing the Super Bowl, more specifically Marshawn Lynch. We want to hear your feedback as always. Join us on our social networks at facebook.com/RBTL Sports, as well as on Twitter at RBTL Sports. Welcome back. TSN Radio Sports personality Moah Kahn. To your left is David Hurley and Anthony Cornelli. I'm Marshawn Lynch. I've sacrificed my body for an entire season. I've given you everything you've wanted. I've done everything you've said, and I've done it to perfection. And I've established myself as one of the greatest in the game. When it comes down to the most important moment of my career or this team's season on my shoulders, you decide not to have me be the guy. What does that tell you? And how upset does Marshawn have the right to be, considering how that all went down?
Well, we heard Marshawn's comments, team sport, but deep down it probably bugs him because he was gashing that Patriot run defense left, right, and center. And all you needed was 1 yard to score 6 points to win second consecutive Super Bowl in their franchise history. Now, for Marshawn, money-wise, remember, he rejected the deal back in the summertime where they were trying to restructure his deal. Well, how much does he get now? And this will be his last big payday because at his age, not many running backs play past 31, 32 and be at the prime of their career.
And the consensus was that Marshawn, I mean, he was not, the guys in the locker room were not happy as well.
Well, no, you hear Bruce Irvin lost it in the media. He said, how do you have Marshawn Lynch and how do you throw that? It just baffles me. I'm even dumbfounded by watching that play. Marshawn Lynch should have ran that ball, and I think it's going to cost Seattle probably their running back. I think he might test free agency. He has that opportunity.
You really think so? You really think
I really do think but he's going to get thrown a lot of money at him. Someone's going to give him some money. Yeah. I mean, Oakland's got $70 million. I mean, I know I'm a fan of the Raiders, but they've got a lot of money. They could throw for a 1-2 year deal, a bridge deal, to get Latavius Murray in.
Psychologically, it might affect him on his decision whether he re-sign or not. But apparently, they're going to throw some big money at him. You know, he had a great year.
Yeah, but they can't because they got Russell Wilson going from $800,000 to $20 million easily.
He'll go as the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Maybe not.
If Joe Flacco managed to be the highest paid after winning the Super Bowl,
but he's coming out of his rookie contract, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So they're going to throw some big money on him to keep him around. He did win a Super Bowl.
Well, the way the Seahawks have restructured their cap is to bill for Russell Wilson, right? They got rid of Percy Harvin, who they saved $7 million off the cap, but they want to sign Wilson to a long-term deal. But again, you have other guys who are going to be due for big dollar deals in the next 2-3 years who are on their rookie scale contracts, so they have to capitalize now, otherwise they'll lose a lot of guys.
What do you think about the steam that it's starting to pick up a little bit more steam recently in terms of the conspiracy or the alternate, I guess, point of view that the relationship between Carroll and Wilson is stronger than the relationship between Carroll and Lynch? And that's the reason why, even including the OC and the same type of relationship, that's the reason why they went with a pass rather than a
Well, Darrell Bevell and Marshawn Lynch do have a little troubled history. We saw it earlier during the season when he did the same thing in Arizona. Yeah. He threw the ball instead of giving it to Marshawn Lynch, and Marshawn gave it to Darrell Bevell on the sidelines. Yeah. So there is a little bit of maybe an anger between those two. But Pete Carroll is a player's coach. Ask any player who's played for Pete Carroll. They love Pete Carroll, and they'll go through a brick wall for Pete Carroll.
Absolutely.
I mean, coming from a coach's background, I've coached for about 15 years now. You prepare your team. I believe that coaches do win championships, but when the game's on the line, you got to trust in your players. I prepared you. I gave you everything you needed to win this game. I give the decision. I give the ball to Russell Wilson. I give him the decision to win that game for me. If he decides to hand it off to Marshawn Lynch, who was one of the top rushing offenses in the league, give the ball to Marshawn Lynch. Give the players a chance to win you that game.
Well, we're going to talk about players having a chance of winning maybe next year as we preview the Seahawks. I'm curious to know what your opinions are about the Seahawks in the 2015-2016 season. Stay with us. Our Pretender Contender segment is coming up next.
Reid Between the Lines is brought to you by Diadora. Available at diadora.com.